up? Deebo Samuel. I think this guy's like the most controversial as to like where to pick him in a draft. People are letting him slide altogether, not picking him at all. In any other case, he would have gone in somewhere like the 5th or 6th round, I think, for a lot of drafts for a wide receiver in like a 12-man, 1 QB sort of PPR situation. So he had a broken foot, had surgery. He seems to be on the road to recovery quickly. What's what do you think on that one?
So that's a good question, right? The thing about Deebo Samuel, right? He had a Jones fracture. The Jones fracture is a fracture of the outside bone, the long bone on the outside of your foot leading to your pinky toe. It's a really, really tricky fracture because there's a pretty high rate of recurrence, even if you come back after 10 weeks. So basically the delineation is 10 weeks. If players try to come back before 10 weeks, there's like a 30%, 40% refracture rate. If players come back after 10 weeks, it's still like a 20% refracture rate or something. So even if, so let me back up then. So that basically that places Deebo Samuel, his 10-week mark is August 27th. I am not super confident that he can be back by August 27th, but I think that he'll maybe, based off the videos that are out, he'll be ramping up by August 27th. I also don't think that he'll go to the reserved pup, because going to the reserve pup would mean that he's like literally like 18 weeks. His first game where he's potentially able to play will be 18 weeks from the time that the initial injury happened, which to me from a rehab perspective is like super excessive, especially for an elite athlete. So I'm somewhere in between. He could be back by like week 3 and 4 but not week 1, and being back by week 7, which would happen if he was put on the reserve pup, is like way too long. And so we've got to hit that sweet spot with him. As of now, if he falls to me in like the 9th, 10th round, I'm pretty comfortable taking him as long as I understand that there's a risk of refracture there this year.
Yeah. So in that case, I was just going to ask about that, and you sort of alluded to it, the refracture possibility. I guess even if you were to pick him up, stash him on your bench, is there going to be like a ramp up time for Deebo Samuel, like there was for example, Saquon Barkley after his return with the ankle problem?
Yeah, so there will be typically what you'll see is that you'll see the ramp up portion of his activity will be like baked into the time that he's already going to be gone. So by the time that we see him play, it'll likely be one of those situations where he's already gone through the procedure that he needed to, gone through the return to sport, rehab and stuff like that. So again, it could be 12 weeks, it could be 14, but I just think 16 and 18 is just way too soon. I have it right here in front of me. So if he comes back for 10 weeks, refracture rate's actually 20%. If he comes back after, it drops to about 10%, but there's still a reduction in production by about 50. It's like 10% reduction by 10%. But he's so skilled and he's all over the field. I'm willing to take a little bit of a risk on him in redraft.